is still a very controversial defining moment in our history, the EndSARS, which I'm sure you captured in this book, which had to do with whether or not, because when the panel came up with their reports, I remember vividly all kinds of controversy emanated. I think I was watching you one time when you were saying it's riddled with inconsistencies and all of that. I think the panel had reported some deaths that were occasioned by that, shooting that happened at the toll gate. The initial problem was who gave the order for them to come. There was a back and forth as to who gave the order. Eventually, they were invited. And then whether or not their bullets were the ones that killed people or it was a stampede. What is your current position as to what happened then? Because it's difficult to believe nobody was killed at the Lekki toll gate. But the government has constantly maintained that that is their position. What is your position today, looking back at 2020?
Geoffrey, 5 years later, my position has not changed. Because even before the soldiers were drafted, I was in touch with the Chief of Defense Staff. I was in touch with the hierarchy of the military, because we were monitoring this development. At no point did the government ever say that lives were not lost during EndSARS. We lost several lives, including soldiers, including policemen, but nobody was killed at the toll gate.
But the panel has said people were killed. Amnesty International said 12 people. But so the panel that was set up, people were killed.
Geoffrey.
But the government is saying people were not killed.
Geoffrey, it's very simple logic, Geoffrey. If your ward, either your son or your daughter, goes to the toll gate, does not come back, and is killed, won't you make representation to government? Or 5 years after, nobody has come out today to say, my son or my daughter or my ward went to the toll gate, he didn't come back.
So what do you make of the panel that was specifically set up by the Lagos state government who alluded to that fact? Geoffrey, and compensations were paid to people who casualty reported and all of that. We have all these documents.
Geoffrey,
it's public information.
I am not part of Lagos state government. Geoffrey, I did not know how the panel arrived at their conclusion. Geoffrey, I was in the room where the shots were taken. And I knew that the soldiers went to the toll gate with blank shots, blank bullets. We can go over this again and again, but what I know is what I know. And I remember I was in France, it was in Paris, when the Lagos State, the panel came out with these findings. And then I said, no, this cannot be, it's riddled with a lot of inconsistencies. Because I was in a vantage position monitoring these issues. Because unknown to many people, even as Minister of Information and Culture, I used to meet, even when there was no problem, meet regularly with the defense, architecture of the country, where we met regularly to review things. And with the media, you recall that once every month, title editors would meet at the NIA. At the NIA in Abuja, with the military, Minister of Defense, Minister of Police Affairs, myself, Garba Shehu, and Femi Adesina, and we would discuss sensitive security issues, but not for reporting, just to give the media a good background and context.
Looking back, does the government regret its decision to send soldiers, whether with blank bullet, live bullet, any form of bullet, unarmed young people who were peaceful in their protest, at least at that Lekki toll gate? Yes, there were violence in other parts. Does the government regret that decision that has become like a black spot in the administration under which you serve?
You see, the EndSARS started, I correctly said, peacefully. At the point in time, it was hijacked by hoodlums. That was when the government said, no, we have to send soldiers to stop this from, getting out of hands. So the government took the right decision because hoodlums had hijacked it at that time.